Ladies and gentlemen, I am a pervert. And as a pervert, I like seeing fellow perverts in my anime. It's nice to see people like you get represented in media, and especially awesome when they're badasses. But I know I'm in the minority over here. A staple stereotype in anime and commonly used as a comedy character, pervert characters are even found in anime manga's biggest company, Shonen Jump. A lot of people, and I mean a lot of people, straight up do not like or even hate these types of characters. Here in this video, we will talk about these pervert characters and see if they are indeed badasses or just nuisances. And before we start, I must preface that I do not condone the actions of these characters, and what they do should not be replicated in the real world. To start off the list, we have one of my favorite anime characters of all time, Jiraiya. Jiraiya is probably one of the most well-known perverted characters in anime, and is a classic example of the perverted old sensei. First appearing in Naruto, Jiraiya was introduced as someone who is to be heralded as one of the strongest ninjas in the Leaf Village. Someone who could be able to take the mantle of Hokage. And then when we get introduced to him, we find out that he's just a big old pervert.
You're nothing but a lousy little pervert!
I am not a little pervert!
Oh yeah? Then tell me, what are you?
I'm a big one.
Oh, great, that makes all the difference!
And obviously there's more to Jiraiya than just being a pervert. He's a funny character and a badass, and who can forget the time when Kisame and Itachi were trying to kidnap Naruto, but Jiraiya was able to put a stop to it. And then in Shippuden, putting a great fight against Pain and then giving intel that led to Pain's defeat. And to be fair to Jiraiya, he's not the only pervert in the series. I'm pretty sure everybody in the series is a pervert. Kakashi reading the dirty books wrote by Jiraiya, Ebisu, Iruka, Kishimoto himself is probably a big pervert too. I'm surprised there wasn't more fanservice scenes in the show itself, considering how these characters are. Nonetheless, Jiraiya is a really cool character, especially when he isn't goofing off, when he isn't drooling over women or peeking at them. He can legitimately be a cool character. And what's better is that he can actually talk to girls without being a total simp or drooling all over them. Most of the time. Of course he still does that, but not as much as certain character we will talk about later in this video. One of the OGs for perverted senseis, Master Roshi is an icon. When you think of a perverted anime character, Master Roshi is probably one of the first you will think of. I've never watched the original Dragon Ball, so I can't speak to him in his prime, but I damn well know how perverted he is. Bro was taking any chance he could get to look at Bulma or any female character to get his kicks. The stuff he has seen from Bulma is kinda crazy. Compared to most other pervert characters, his success rate is actually higher than most. But honestly, this dude belongs in jail. He might have a high success rate, but he also does the most outrageous things. Touching random girls' bodies, creeping up to them in their bedrooms, even touching them while unconscious. This dude's a criminal. But what makes people like Master Roshi is that while he does get easily swayed by girls, is that he gets serious when it really counts. If the world is in trouble, he is willing to somehow get buff and fight. A nice message to send to the youth on how to not let yourself go when you're old. People really love Master Roshi despite the fact that he is a really perverted old man. I can't explain the pass he gets from the anime community, but whatever he did to get people to like him, I need that secret. The newest character on today's video, Mineta from My Hero Academia, and for some reason one of the most contentious and hated characters from the series. I don't really seem to understand the hate boner people have when it comes to Mineta. He's just a horny teenager. Like out of everyone from 1A, he's on the more normal ones. Well, except when they turn up his pervertedness to 100, suddenly he becomes a huge creep.
よろしく。
おいらミネタ、10年後が楽しみだ。
テレ屋さんなんだよね。
Yeah, there's no excuse for that. Compared to other characters we talked about, Mineta doesn't have the smallest role in their series. Mineta is nothing more than a side character, but even then, his screen time is not a lot. I don't mind Mineta. He's not in this series a whole lot for me to feel like he detracts anything. His power is weird though. I never understood how he was able to get into UA with his sticky ball power. And his hero costume design is simply just awful. His friendship with Kaminari is fun to watch, because they're both just dudes being dudes. Compared to others on this list, he has the least impact on the anime scene. but it's still one of the most hated characters when it comes to perverted characters. I do wonder how the anime community would react nowadays to characters like Master Roshi or Jiraiya. Sanji is the last character we have to discuss today, and he is the character that is the most contentious here. And it is due to the flanderization he has gotten over the years. Sanji started off in the beginning of One Piece more of a gentleman, someone who is suave and stylish, and just has a soft spot for girls. He was more of a simp than anything, but I don't know what happened after the time skip, but he's gotten really one note now. He has exceptions, but I think everyone can agree that it has gotten a bit much these days. The nosebleeds, the hard eyes for every single female character, and the inability to just be a cool character who treats women more nicely like how he did in the pre-time skip. Everyone will turn to Fishman Island where it was the most egregious. And then in Punk Hazard, it's not helped either when he gets inside Nami's body. But he does get his comeuppance in Dressrosa helping Viola and the entirety of Whole Cake Island. If it weren't for the Whole Cake Island arc, I don't know if many people would still be Sanji fans. I do wish they would tune the pervertedness down a peg or two. I know they won't do it, but I do wish we could get some semblance of a pre-timeskip Sanji. It was a nice refresher watching the live action and seeing Sanji be a normal person, but seeing any female character interact with Sanji these days is just painful. Not a normal conversation or anything. It's frustrating what his character has devolved to, someone who could barely talk to women and just parades around them. At the end of the day, I still love Sanji. He's still one of my favorite characters despite how hard Oda is making it to be. There we have it, folks. Shonen Jump's biggest perverts. Some beloved, some not, but an archetype that is very controversial. I know in this day and age the archetype can be seen as outdated, but I will always have a soft spot for it, especially when it produces such great characters. And if you like these anime perverts, then you will probably like me as well. So why don't you press the subscribe button, like and comment who's your favorite anime pervert. I know I didn't get through them all, so for any I missed, let's have a nice dialogue in the comment section. And with that, I bid you adieu.